Finishing up section 4.5, we're going to do the solving portion. So if you go to the notes to the second page, and it states here, when solving quadratic equations, you're going to get two answers. As we all know, if we square 3, we'll get 9. But if we also square -3, we also get 9. Therefore, if you take the square root of 9, you're going to get plus or minus 3. So when we're solving, you're going to have to account for both the positive and negative. We haven't done that so far in our simplifications, but as we solve, you got to make sure you have the pluses and minuses. So, look at our first example, example 3. We need to simplify this, so we're going to start by trying to get our x squared by itself, isolating that. So subtract 5 from both sides. So we'll have 3x squared equals 36. Then divide by 3. We're left with x squared equals 12. Now, we're solving for x, so we need to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of the square just gives us a plain old x, and the square root of 12, but you can simplify that. We've done plenty of these so far, so I see that as being square root of 4 times square root of 3, and x equals 2 square root of 3, and there's your answer. Now, what did I not do? This is going to be plus and minus because we are now solving. So it's easy to forget that. But anytime you're dealing with equal signs and you're solving, you got to make sure you got the plus and minuses. There's an example below here, a little more complex. It's multiple choice. We'll solve for the z here. So we got a few things to do first. First thing, we got to get rid of this fraction of 1/5 by multiplying both sides by 5. So multiplying this by 5 will eliminate the fraction. 5 times 7 is 35. I'll do that over here, but I have more room. So z plus 3 squared equals 35. Now there's no reason to, FOIL the z plus 3. Just take the square roots of both sides. This will cancel the square, so we have z plus 3. And then on the other side, we're going to have plus and minus the square root of 35. Now again, I don't think that simplifies at all, so we'll just leave it at that. You haven't quite got the z isolated yet, so we just have to subtract 3 from both sides. And you can't mix that with that at all, so you're just going to have z equals -3 plus and minus square root of 35. So if you want to get the exact values, you'd have -3 minus the square root of 35. That's about 6, well less than 6. Or -3 plus square root of 35. Just about 6. Anyway, you have to go find your answer on the other side, and I think I see it, this letter C, I think, yeah. Okay, let's try a few more. Next page is a few more you can try quick. Solving the equation. Again, we're solving now with the square, so we're going to divide both sides by 5. X squared equals 16. Square root of both sides. X equals plus and minus 4. That was pretty easy. Next one, we're going to add 7 to both sides. Z squared equals 36. Square root of both sides. Z equals plus and minus 6. All right, the next one looks a little more complex, so what I'll do is, pardon me, I'll work over here, there's more room. So again, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So when I do that, divide by 3, I will then have x minus 2 quantity squared equals just 40 divided by 3. Taking the square root of both sides, and I'm going to jump ahead one step and just got it like that already. So now I'm going to have x minus 2 equals square root of 40 over square root of 3. So we have to rationalize this. So both by multiplying the numerator and denominator by square root of 3. So So you have x minus 2 equals square root of 120 divided by square root of 9. That's perfect square. That's why we rationalize with that number. So that's going to be a 3. And then this becomes a 4 and a 30. So the 30, it's not going to be a great answer. So if x minus 2 equals square root of 4, square root of 30 over 3, and square root of that. So almost done. X minus 2 equals 2 square root of 30 over 3. And now I got to add this 2 to, again, I skipped it again, and like I said, it's easy to do. This is plus and minus the whole way down. Plus and minus. It's very easy to forget to do that, as I just did. This is plus and minus as well. Sorry about that. Get a little tight on space. But I'm going to add 2 to both sides, so it's going to be x equals 2 plus and minus 2 square root of 30 over 3. And that's as far as it goes. If you had an even number down here, you could factor out a 2, but that's a 3, so that's your answer right there.